Let me start with something uncomfortable. Most people don't lose control of their money because of many bad decisions. They lose control because of one decision that feels reasonable, responsible, and even smart at the time. It doesn't look like a mistake. It doesn't feel reckless. It often feels like progress. And yet, month after month, this one purchase quietly absorbs their income, tightens their life, and keeps them feeling behind no matter how much they earn. What makes it dangerous is that you don't see the damage right away. You feel fine until one day you realize money never feels relaxed anymore. Let's talk about what's actually happening. Imagine a very normal situation. Someone living in the United States or Europe, a student who just started working, a young professional a few years into their career. They're not struggling, they're not wealthy. They earn around $60,000 a year, or 40 to 50,000 euros. From the outside, that looks like a solid income, but after tax, it's much less. In the US, that 60,000 might turn into 45, in many European countries, even less. Now let's walk through their month. Rent or a mortgage comes first. Not luxury, just decent, close enough to work. Then transportation, a car payment, insurance, fuel, or public transit passes and maintenance. Student loans, credit cards, health insurance, utilities, groceries, subscriptions. Nothing here feels irresponsible. That's important, because the most damaging financial decisions don't feel like mistakes. They feel normal. By the end of the month, the money is gone. Not wasted, not blown on nonsense, just allocated. And here's where the story usually goes. At some point, income increases. A promotion, a better job, a raise. For a brief moment, there's relief, breathing room. And then comes the purchase. Not a wild one, not impulsive, the one that feels justified. A better apartment, a newer car, a slightly higher mortgage, something that improves daily life, something that feels adult, responsible, earned. This is the purchase that quietly changes everything. Because it doesn't just cost money once, it changes the structure of your life. Let's slow this down. Most people think budget problems come from spending. They imagine shopping, eating out, or random expenses. But those are rarely the real issue. The real issue is fixed costs. The purchase that destroys your monthly budget is the one that turns flexibility into obligation. Usually housing, sometimes a car, often both. Let's put simple numbers to this. Take someone bringing home $45,000 a year. That's around $3,700 a month. Before the upgrade, their rent is $1,200. Manageable. After utilities, transport, insurance, loans, and food, they have maybe $600 or $700 left. Not amazing, but flexible. Then income rises. They decide to move to a nicer place. Rent goes to $1,800. It feels reasonable. After all, they earn more now. But that $600 margin quietly disappears. Now every dollar is assigned before the month begins. The money didn't vanish. Freedom did. And here's the trap. Once a cost becomes fixed, your brain stops treating it like a decision. Rent doesn't feel optional. Car payments don't feel negotiable. They feel like facts. You can skip shopping, you can delay a vacation, but you cannot skip rent. You cannot pause a car payment. That one purchase becomes an anchor. Everything else adjusts around it. Psychologically, this feels safe. A better apartment feels like stability. A newer car feels like reliability. Your brain loves predictability. It reduces daily stress. So you tell yourself this was a smart move, and in many ways it was, just not financially, because predictability is not the same as security. Predictability can be fragile. Here's something most people don't realize. When fixed costs rise, your required income rises with them, not just now, forever. That new rent doesn't care if you change jobs, get sick, burn out. It demands the same payment every month. So even if income grows, pressure stays constant. This is why people earning more often don't feel better. They simply upgraded their stress level. There's another layer to this: identity. When income rises, people don't think in numbers, they think in stories. I'm doing well now. I'm past that phase. This is normal for someone like me. And that identity expects a certain environment, a certain standard, not to impress others, but because your brain wants consistency between who you think you are and how your life looks. So the purchase feels necessary, even inevitable. Over time, this creates a quiet pattern. Every raise improves lifestyle, but never margin. Every improvement locks in more obligation. Savings grow slowly, if at all. Stress never fully disappears, and people start blaming themselves. I should budget better. I should be more disciplined. But discipline isn't the problem. Structure is. Financially intelligent people see this differently. They understand that the most dangerous purchases are not the expensive ones. They are the permanent ones. They don't ask, can I afford this? They ask, what does this force me to earn every month? They protect margin more than image, because margin absorbs shocks. Margin creates calm. Margin gives options. Think about two people. One earns a high income but has heavy fixed costs. The other earns less but keeps costs flexible. Who sleeps better? Who can walk away from a bad job? Who can handle an unexpected expense? Security doesn't come from income. It comes from how little of that income is already spoken for. If this pattern continues long enough, the long-term impact is serious. Savings stay thin. Retirement feels distant. Every decision feels heavier than it should. Not because of one dramatic mistake, but because of one quiet purchase that set a new baseline. Here's the shift. The goal isn't to avoid nice things. It's to understand what kind of cost you're agreeing to. One-time costs fade. Fixed costs stay. And the most expensive thing in your life is not what you buy. It's what you agree to maintain. If money has ever felt tight despite doing everything right, you're not failing. You made a decision that made sense inside a system designed to reward it. Awareness doesn't undo the past, but it changes future choices, and that's enough. If this helped you see money more clearly, subscribe for more calm, realistic conversations like this. No hype, no pressure, just clearer thinking.